Some people dread this the most. Managing players, managing people, getting them to listen, getting them to sometimes actually be decent and actually be nice. Now this is actually really easy to do. As the GM, you are in charge. Remember that for a second. You are in charge. But as Peter Parker's uncle told him, great power comes great responsibility. You are in charge, but you are also responsible for everyone else. You are responsible for the fun of the table. You need to make sure you are in control of your players. And what I mean by that is not micromanage them and get them to do what they want, but you give them the parameters. Now, by no means do I say, if I give you the example, right, this is all you can do, right, listen to me, no, you're not listening, right, this is what you do, and you be an absolute evil warlord dictator where they don't have any say. However, if you give them the parameters of the session, whoop, here's the parameters, as long as you stay in the parameters, we won't have a problem. If you do, then we'll have a problem. The other trick is not to talk for too long. If you do a whole 2 pages of description for them, they are going to be bored senseless. Don't do that. Don't do that to them. You need to be talking a lot, but they need to be talking a lot. A lot of the engagement with shared storytelling should be a back and forth. You tell them something, they react to it. You tell them something, they react to it. Not a, right, let's begin the novel. Once upon a time there was, and you go on. You're not reading them a story. You are engaging with them in a shared storytelling environment. Don't talk for too long. They get bored, they get agitated, and they're just people, aren't they? If you just had to sit there and listen to someone for ages, you'd be like, oh, I'm so bored, I'm so bored. Now, moving on to the actual problem players. If you have a player who consistently just keeps breaking these rules, I would pause the game. Now, I do not like GMs who ridicule someone in front of everyone else. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Now, you might have to say in the session that you need to make sure you're listening, or if someone's constantly, I don't know, on their phone, just going, no, yeah, and not listening, I would say, make sure you're listening because I'm not going to repeat it, and try and get them incentivized. Try and do it positive first. But my main tip would be take a break. So we're going to have a short break, 5 minutes, go to the toilet, go and have some snacks, and then go, can I talk to you for a moment? And talk to them. And they might not even realize they're doing it. And you might say, is everything okay? You seem to be looking at your phone a lot. Is there an emergency? Sympathize, empathize with them. Is there something wrong? And they might go, oh, sorry, my cat's really ill, for example. Sorry, I'm thinking of the old lady and cat. My cat's really ill. I'm getting texts about it. He's at the vet at the moment. Completely understandable. Yeah, keep looking at your phone while playing. The game isn't the most important thing. If they're saying they're just scrolling through Facebook or through Twitter, it's something a bit different. And you say, you might even say at the beginning of your game, no phones allowed. I don't like saying that because it's restrictive, but you could say that. You could also just say, look, I think you're missing parts of the storyline because you are looking at your phone. I expect my players to be listening to the story. When we have a break, you can look at your phone. If it's an emergency, of course, look at your phone if you need to reply, but you can't sit there the whole time on your phone, not listening to the story. If you're finding this story boring or you don't want to be here, go. No one's forcing you to be here. And unfortunately, I'm really sorry for those people who just like, oh, I couldn't say that to people. Be as plain as possible. The chances are, if you say you're on your phone a lot, I think you're missing crucial parts of the story. You need to make sure that you're not on your phone. They stop. And they go, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. Sorry. Yeah, no, my phone won't be out. I'm sorry. And if some bad behaviour continues to happen, then you'd need to say it again. And it might be to the point where I've had to say to players before, I've only had this once, I'm happy to say, where I had to say, you need to leave my game. And you don't do it in a horrible way at all. You don't shout, you don't have emotion in it. It's basically you're not following the rules of the game, or you're not following the rules that we've set as a group. You need to leave. Or you say at the end of the game, look, this behaviour that you've had throughout this game is unacceptable. I don't want you in my game. The thing with managing players is being firm but fair and taking emotion out of it. Being sympathetic to them and empathetic, but at the same time, these are the rules. If you break these rules, you need to leave my game. If you're not going to do correct conduct in my game, you need to go.